Hi guys, this is AC Gamer back with another video on Tower of Fantasy. So you guys read the title. So the developers need to do one thing just before Linear comes out, or when Linear comes out. So we all know Lin is going to be coming out on the 22nd of November. A lot of people are hyped, a lot of people are excited. This is the character and banner that a lot of people were waiting and saving for, or just in general want to spend a lot of money on. However, the developers need to do one thing for the global server, and that is to refresh or reset the first purchase rebate, because it will incentivize a lot more people to spend in the game. So obviously when a game comes out, they have that first purchase rebate, or if you make a new account, the first purchase rebate is there so that you guys can spend or buy a pack, and then they give you back a bunch of more resources, which basically incentivizes you to spend in the game. However, for some reason, when the 2.0 update came out, certain regions did get that refresh and reset for them, which was exciting for them. However, in the global server, they decided not to do that and came out with a different spending event, which was not really worth it. And I feel like that is what contributed to them getting a lot less money in terms of the month of October. Now, we need to wait and see at the end of November and take a look at the analytics in terms of the amount of revenue the developers actually managed to earn within the banners. But I will say this, if they really wanted to earn as much money as possible, then they most definitely need to refresh and reset the global first purchase rebate, so that many people are incentivized to spend. Now, I am someone who has spent in Tower of Fantasy, has spent over £400, and I will say this right now, if they do refresh or reset the first purchase for the packs, I will absolutely be spending and trying to get as many copies as Lin as possible. However, if they do not do this, I will most likely not spend. Like, there's a high chance I will not spend, just because we are moving forward in Tower Fantasy. We've seen a lot of people quit. Many people are skeptical about whether Tower Fantasy is going to continuously earn as much money as possible. So obviously, like I said, the end of November is going to be the most important time for Tower Fantasy, because it will make or break the game. The amount of revenue they earn will basically tell players whether or not this game will succeed, whether or not they need to start leaving the game, because many people are already quit. So if they want to continue to have a lot of money being dropped into the game, then they need to incentivize the global audience, and for that to be done, they need to refresh the first purchase limits. So this is just a video to tell the developers, listen, don't mess this up. If you want us to spend, you got to give us a much better pack, either a much better pack or just refreshing the first purchase limit, or first purchase rebate, because this is a new special character that a lot of people want to summon for. A lot of people will be willing to spend, and if you don't give us a good pack, or you don't give us certain stuff, many dolphins might not be inclined to spend and might spend on other games, especially because another game came out, Nikkei Goddess of Victory, which a lot of people do want to spend in that game as well. So they might be considering which game should I put money on, whether it's Nikkei, whether it's Tower of Fantasy, and they could, you can incentivize them to spend a lot more on your game, or even spend in your game if you give them the first purchase reset. Now, I will say this, I remember when the Saki of Ruby banner came out. Now, I wanted to get Saki. I wanted to get 3-star Saki because I thought she was going to be amazing. But obviously, you saw the amount of resources I had. I had money to spend, and I decided not to summon for Saki, or not to spend real life money on Saki or Ruby, just because I knew there was not the first purchase reset was not available, and I decided to spend £80 on Genshin Impact on a game I don't give a shit about. In terms of, like, I'm not someone who spends or plays Genshin Impact 24/7 or every day. In fact, I haven't logged in for 2 days, but I have spent over £100 on the game when the Nahida banner came out. That was the same time when Ruby came out, or was it Saki came out, but I had no incentive, no reason to spend in Tower of Fantasy because the packs were not good, the rebate wasn't there. So if they don't want the same thing to happen with other players as well, because many people are looking for other games to spend money on, then not everyone is playing with just one gacha game. I promise you, if people are playing Tower of Fantasy, they're playing other gacha games, and they will be looking at games to spend money on. And if your game doesn't really incentivize them to spend, especially dolphins, they are less likely to spend in your game. So like I said, I might be looking to spend £100, £200, but if you can't really incentivize me because the first purchase reset isn't happening, then I promise you I won't be summoning for Lin, and most dolphins or most people might not be tempted to summon for or not to spend for Lin. And that's all I wanted to say in today's video. Now tell me down in the comment section if you guys agree or disagree with what I am saying right now. Do you feel like if they do refresh or reset the first purchase package, then they will get a lot more money? Because I do feel like they will earn a lot more money if they give us that first purchase reset, because it will be a very great time to spend in the game and everyone will be happy. But if they don't, do you think many people will still spend, or do you think the month of November will be a great month for Tower Fantasy? Because I will be making another follow-up video taking a look at the revenue for November, and if it isn't over 20 million then, or over 15 million, then it is looking like a huge red signal, red light, or red flag, sorry, for Tower of Fantasy and the longevity of the game. Because if two of the most OP and most loved character in the game comes out and they can't earn a lot of money, then it's saying something. It's absolutely saying something. And if they really want to bump up the amounts they earn, you gotta have to refresh the first purchase for the global audience. Trust me on that. Anyways, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, tell me down in the comment section your opinion. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you click the like button. It's been your boy AC Gamer, and I'm out.